I never do my makeup. Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of a series that I have been thinking about and planning for some time to kind of jazz up the book review scene. I feel like I have seen countless videos of people reviewing the books that they're currently reading. I just really wanted to play a part in telling you guys what I read and then telling you guys my raw reactions and thoughts to whatever I'm reading in a way that feels more me and just feels more customized. This channel is called the DevynnsBlues channel because we all know blue is my favorite color. Blue is my inspiration, my passion, my everything. If I was a color, I'd definitely be. I thought it would be really cool to give my own blue rating scale, if that makes any sense. We're gonna go through and I'm gonna tell you all of what that means. I am so ready to get back into my book review game and really just dive in and consume all the things. What's that TikTok sound that goes like yeah, make fun of the girl that's trying to put herself out there creatively.
Let's make fun of the girl who took a risk and put herself out there creatively.
We're not doing that today, so if you have any negative comments, get out! I shouldn't yell, I have a small mic. Anyways, let's get into the rating scale and what I will be rating my books on, what I plan to do in the future. Let's get into it.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth.
So the B in blue is going to stand for basically any beautiful moments or bold words or phrases in a book that just encapsulates me and just makes me feel all the feels: happy, angry, sad, disappointed, anything, but just really words or phrases that really stand out to me. Bold words. Be bold. Bitch, be bold.
Bitch, be bold.
The L is for language. Was the book easily digestible? Was there a lot of words in the book that just made me have to go on Webster and look up the meaning every 2 pages and how I was able to understand it? I think that'll be good. I think we're cooking here. I think we're cooking. U in blue is for universal appeal. Who does this book appeal to? Who do I think would probably benefit the most from reading this book, or it would touch the most, who I could recommend this book to, pretty much. Last but not least, the E is going to stand for pretty much emotions, or evoking emotion. What did I feel in this book? What were the main feelings that I felt while I was reading the book? Those are all of the categories. I'm going to put them somewhere on the screen so you guys can see them. And then as I talk about the book that we have that we're going to review today, we got to wrap it up. I'm so excited. The book that we're going to be reviewing today, first, for my first blues book review, is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. This is a POC romance, and this is actually the first Black author romance that I have read ever. It makes me so sad to say that, but now that I'm here and I get it, and I can just tell we're going to have a lovely future together. So before I get into the real yapathon, let's get into how I would rate this book on my new blue rating scale. First, the B, bold phrases, bold words. I'm going to have my notebook right here for just a little refresher, remind myself how I even felt reading this book, because your girl's got ADHD and I forget what socks I have on right now. And I don't even have socks on right now. So the first beautiful moment that I think I encountered when I was reading this book is how she finds a lot of parallels through her mom's old journals of her life when she was considering another man. How her mom describes love really gives the main character a whole dimensional look at her mother. Instead of viewing her mom as her mom, she really views her mom as a woman, and I just felt that was so beautiful to read about, and even made me think of my own mom in that way. One quote that her mom included in the journals that I thought was a really beautiful phrase, or just quote, page 345, she says, "I am a hornet. I can love and I can sting." Very true. Very true. Another beautiful quote that I really enjoyed reading or reading around and about that really just touched my heart was on page 384. The main character says, "I now realize you can risk loving completely when you completely love yourself." And even though love yourself before you love others is just such a common term, but I feel like it's really, at the core of it, it's easier said than done. It is so hard sometimes to reciprocate the love that we give to other people back to ourselves and just fill our own cup. So I just thought it was just a really wonderful way that Miss Ryan put it. And I mean, she already knows this because I've already told her her pen is unmatched. I felt really seen by her including that in the FMC's journey and just learning to love myself more. So I was highly impacted by that statement. Let's get into the L's. Let's get into the language of the book. So I thought that the book was definitely easily digestible. There weren't any big or confusing words that I kind of had to look up. I don't think I ever had to look up any word in the dictionary in this book. It was pretty straightforward, easily digestible, well written, beautifully written at that. So no qualms there. Since this is an adult romance, there were some spicy. Why so spicy? There was some spicy scenes within the book that I felt were very, 1, tasteful, 2, playful, and 3, beautiful, and actually 4, adoring. I felt like these characters were literally jumping out of the page, and I can see this entire book as like a movie when I'm only reading words. And so the universal appeal, a main character of this book divorces her husband, and she has to really learn to love herself, find herself, while also taking care of her 3 daughters and also trying to juggle this new relationship or this new opportunity that she sees right in front of her and really deem like, is her heart ready for that? I can't talk today. Also, another integral, I believe, part of this book is the representation of autism and individuals who are neurodivergent, which I thoroughly appreciated as someone that is a mental health advocate and often works with children that are within that space and that community. It was so refreshing to see the real experience just labeled out in this story form that's very real to me personally, or it could be real to someone who's also reading the book that may be autistic or who has autism or who is on just the spectrum, however you would like to, refer to yourselves. I think that it was beautifully done, counts as a beautiful moment and a universal appeal for those who would love to read more stories about and authentic experiences of a parent trying to provide the best care or the most effective care for a child that has autism or who is autistic. And last but certainly not least are my personal emotions while I was reading the book. This book evoked a lot of emotions out of me, emotions of happiness, pride within the FMC, just feeling proud of her, joy, pity for her husband, who I believe is a narcissist, sadness, anger, love. Were many times within this book that I had to put it down and really just sit with myself and ask some of the questions that the FMC asks herself when she's navigating through her new life as, an independent mother who is raising 3 children, but also as an independent woman who continuously asks herself, am I enough? Can I love myself to the wholest degree? And am I ready to really start a new relationship? And have I loved myself enough? I think you're never too late or too early to ask that question of yourself. In all bluntness, you are able to care for someone or the people around you way more when you are putting that love back into yourself 10 times fold. So I often had a lot of these thoughts of how I could pour, love and attention and care back into myself after reading this book and reading the experience of how the female main character did it. Also, another emotion of jealousy for the female main character because the MMC is so confident, so charming, so accepting. Honestly, As of now, I have yet to find a more perfect partner than the MMC of this book, Judah Cross. He just really hits all the boxes, and he is just so selfless, and I feel like that's what the FMC and the MMC have in common. They're both selfless, loving people. Them together just makes a love that is just so indescribable, so otherworldly, that just had me hooked.
The hooks, me bucko. They're back.
I believe that I finished this book in a matter of hours. I think I finished it within like 5 or 6 hours. That's my rating. Those are all the letters and categories of the blue rating of approval, or Devyn's blue rating of approval. If you were to put it on like maybe an out of 5-star rating scale, I would put this book as a 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed escaping reality and just jumping into the reality of Soledad and Judah and their love story, and even the side characters were just so funny and witty and just so real, and even her daughters, and even seeing that relationship was just amazing. That is it on the very first episode of Blues Book Reviews. Again, please leave a comment down below if there are any other books that you would love for me to review next. Please tell me also how you feel about this new rating scale, and if it's a really good idea, if you think I should make some critiques to it, or if you have even better like subcategories that I can put in with the different categories that I have, please let me know. Until then, this has been Devyn's Blue Book Reviews, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! I hope it recorded everything.